If you're anything like me, you want your home to have all the fall vibes, but you don't want it to look like it came straight out of Home Goods. Today, I'm gonna show you how. Hi everyone, my name is Brittany, a design student and a content creator. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 10 designer tips that you can use to decorate for autumn. If you'd like to see more videos like this, just go ahead and subscribe. And now let's get into the video. So tip number 1 is use darker colors, moodier tones, different colors like burnt oranges, deeper browns, deeper greens, and even like deeper jewel tone purples. You could also try out earth tones. A big reason why we love the fall so much is because we're seeing all of these changes naturally. We see it in the trees, we see it in the foods that are available, we see it all around us. So what better way to tap into the essence of the season inside your home than using earth tones. Number 2 on this list is incorporate more textures for that warm, cozy feeling. So with textures, you can think of natural ones like wood, wool, knits. Use those as textured pieces to give your home more depth, give your space more visual interest and more character. Number 3, so I know during this time when stores like Home Goods and Target roll out their fall series of home decor, they oftentimes will put out faux flowers with them. What you could do instead is head down to Trader Joe's or go to your local floral shop and get some fresh fall florals. You will have access to florals that are available during this season only. So flowers like sunflowers. Sunflowers are big at the end of the summer, at the start of the fall. Those are like the iconic end of summer flowers that bring you straight into the fall. You can try dahlias. Dahlias are beautiful. I love the texture. You could even use dahlias for texture. Dahlias offer a beautiful texture and they come in beautiful colors. You could also use African daisies. These come in a variety of colors from yellows to purples, deep purples, lighter purples, a little bit of pink, lighter oranges. It ranges. So funny enough, they also come in what we would consider all the fall colors. So you could play around with fall florals and incorporate that into your home to get the feeling of fall without using these burnt bright orange fake leaves that we see available in Home Goods and Target and just all these different stores. Or you could even go for dried floral. Dried florals are perfect for longer lasting pieces in your home, so you don't need to replace these. These are just there to stay. They're dried, and you can get creative with them. You could even store them for next fall if you would like. Tip number 4, this has to do with your bedding. So with fall, we all want to get cozy, from our sweaters to what we eat and drink and to our home decor. And a big part of our home decor is how cozy we feel at home, and specifically in our bedroom. During the summer, we often like to strip the bed and use like white sheets, white pillowcases, stuff like that. When you bring in the fall, what you could do to get that extra cozy feeling is add more throw pillows. Add thicker, fluffier throw blankets. Consider adding a duvet that is thick and fluffy. Just think about it like this. The cozier it is, the fluffier, the bigger the bed is, the more appropriate it is for the season. A very small change that you can make, which then this is tip number 5, is change out the books that you have on display. So we all know what coffee table books look like. They're often like these grand, beautiful, editorial style books that we showcase in our homes, and we can consider changing those out to books that have covers, or even the contents of the book are more geared towards the season. So either in terms of the aesthetic of the books, meaning the covers, like the colors, the textures. Some books are like a linen cover, that will be perfect. And even think about your cookbooks. Your cookbooks can be like homey, cozy fall meals. You could showcase that, and that will immediately make your brain think, yes, we're in the season. Number 6, limit the use, or avoid if you can, the use of fall motifs. Think pumpkins, ghosts, bats. I'm not saying you can't use them, but when you look at every square inch of your home and there is a pumpkin printed on something, if you're like me, it's gonna drive you insane. But don't get me wrong, I love them. But I know there are people who like do it to the point where every single element of their home that signifies the change in season is with a pumpkin or the ghost or a witch or a bat, you know? So if you're not one of those people who like to go all out with the decor, like the themed decor, I would say just limit the use of these motifs and you'll have a more elegant look to work with. Number 7, and actually this is kind of like one of the most important things before you even start purchasing decor items or anything for your home during any season and at any point. Use a cohesive color palette. Like I said in the beginning of this video, there are a variety of colors you can choose from when it comes on to decorating for the fall season. And a lot of these colors are darker and richer. You can choose from these colors, or if you're a more neutral person, you could go with your neutrals and add touches and elements of the season to give it that fall feel. But it's important to use a color palette to guide you along the way. It's basically like a manual to designing your space. If you're unsure of the colors that you need to be using, you will have a bunch of different colors and your design will be going in a bunch of different directions, and when you're done you won't necessarily be happy with what you have unless you're an eclectic person and you just love colors, and that's a different story. But definitely use a color palette to help you along the way. If you go on Pinterest, you can find a lot of different examples of color palettes that people use for the season, so you can go ahead and check those out and see what would fit your style the most. Number 8 on this list is one of those important things that we often overlook when it comes on to creating our own space, and that's lighting. Your use of lighting will make or break the design that you have. Whether you're a pro or you're a novice, your use of lighting is paramount to showcasing the idea that you had in mind. The fall is not as bright and cheerful as the summer. So taking that conceptually and incorporating that into a design into your space, you're gonna think of more muted lighting. You're gonna think of more intimate spaces. You're gonna think of more intimate vignettes. So consider using things like candles, lamps, floor lamps, a fireplace. Different things like that will bring about the fall mood. So choose those lighting elements carefully. You want to create an ambiance with your lighting. It's definitely fun when you figured it out and when you see what that lighting does to the space that you've created. Number 9, add fragrance. The thing with designing a space is that you have to incorporate most, if not all, of your senses. So it's not only about how it looks, but it's also about how it feels, how it smells. I mean, I don't think you can taste a space unless I guess you're cooking in that space. The fragrances that are used in that space in your home dictates the vibes, the feelings that you get when you're there. Think of something that is on the warmer side. So anything that's spiced or pumpkin scented or sweet and woody. When you go to Home Goods, you have a plethora of options to choose from when it comes onto candles and just like diffusers and anything to get your home smelling like autumn. So last but definitely not least on this list is something that has to do with your senses again. Like I said, it's about what you see, what you feel, what you taste, what you smell, and what you hear. Music is such an important part of creating a mood or creating an ambiance. So if you're the type of person who likes to play music at home, think about mellow tunes, think about maybe some jazz, think about your favorite songs that get you through the fall. And this kind of goes hand in hand with maybe shows and movies. Like, this isn't very designer, but it helps to increase that cozy element, that cozy vibe of the fall season. So I hope this list helped you guys with understanding what you need to do in order to get the fall vibes without making it look like it came out of a Home Goods magazine with pumpkin written on everything and it's fall, y'all. Like, you know, I feel like we could do a little bit better, but this is not to judge anybody who loves those things, because I once loved those things as well. I just think as you mature in your design style, and if you're not one of those people who love themed decor, then this video will be perfect for helping you along that path to designing the fall dream home of your dreams. If you guys found this video helpful, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.